looking for Phil Thompson. He's wanted in connection in relation to that double homicide out in Edmonton. He even tried to kill me out in Teeswater. I escaped, and I still haven't gotten my justice. I did 6 months in jail for the self-defense, but Phil never went to prison for his homicides. He's wanted for murder here in Canada.
Losing all of my niggas from gray outside to these prisons, but yeah, this was our decision. Now I done been through it all. Robbed niggas and been robbed back. Shot at niggas and they shot back. Took some losses but came right back.
So what we're trying to do is find Phil. I have a picture of him. Yep, him and his son, actually. Philip Thompson and Cameron Thompson of Teeswater. They're individuals. They're not too hard to find. We know where they live. They live in Teeswater, Ontario, Canada. It's a small town, one that doesn't even have a grocery store. And I went to that small town, and that's where Phil tried to capture me and kill me while he laughed about an unsolved homicide out in Edmonton. Yes, I could testify in court that Phil had brought up some homicide that he did, he said. He said him and this guy here, JD, a.k.a. Josh David, of Edmonton, well, they're wanted for that double homicide, and there's no excuse to the ignorance of the law. We all know that pulling triggers on innocent folks is a crime. Everybody knows that, even me. Did I know these ones were killers when I was... Here's a picture of me. I was with this one when I was 16, before they started to do their homicides. I had just came back to Canada. I was about 16 there in that one. He's much older. We're thinking he's in his 30s. Anyways, they tried to rob me. They tried to do the homicides on me, but we all know that, well, I'm a little bit higher up. I'm government. I'm famous. I'm a celebrity. I'm all lawyer. I went to school in the United States. My dad owns property. He just couldn't get me. They like to take advantage of kids, or they're known predators. I mean, they touch kids, children. There's kids that could testify through this. There's children that could testify that they touched them illegally here in Canada, and we don't put up with it. We got Justin now. We've handled everything, and this is the next thing. We got a couple of these. They're nothing. We'll get them. There's about 3 or 4 of them. Maybe 5 or 6 criminals that think they're going to thrive here in Canada. And that's not going to happen. They just don't have the technologies to do so. But you know who does? The police. And I happen to be with them. Yeah, the real police. The police that actually will get the true perpetrators. That is the main goal, and this one right here is the main he's one of the real perpetrators. They're known to home invade Asian families and white families because they've been seen as vulnerable at one time. At one time here in Canada, they were seen as vulnerable. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you did the murder 5 years ago, if you did the murder 20 years ago. You will be charged and processed with murder. It's not the United States where we have a statute of limitations. I have the right to testify of what I've witnessed. That doesn't happen in my life. It happens in these ones, and I got to witness it. And it puts my life in danger, and it puts many others in danger too, because I know the true reality to it. Some other people are all in the swindle. And StacksAMilli doesn't get swindled by it. I don't think, they take advantage of our citizens' anxieties. My dad, he was a property owner and all that. You won't be taking advantage of me or whatever, like they take advantage of some of the other ones. I'm trying to find this picture of Phil Thompson and Cam Thompson. Now, what's their role what's their role? Well, they're trigger men, but then also they're trying to use their money and their status here in Canada to cover up the murders done by some of these undocumented Africans and all that. So beware of them in Teeswater. They still haven't been arrested. I'm just trying to find their photo here or whatever. If I can get their, I know I have their photos. Then we'll be more than aware on what these guys look like. Now, they're organized crime for sure. But if we can just target each individual member of their organization, we will be able to eliminate at any costs this criminal organization. The police, it's dead or alive. Wanted, dead or alive. Just like the video game or the other ones. Listen, they're wanted, dead or alive, everyone. Out in Edmonton, all the way across Canada. Canada-wide warrants. These are murders we're talking about. These are guys that are going to be doing life in prison. The charges that they're wanted for life here in Canada. Something that's never been seen by a kid like a StacksAMilli or anybody. But, hey, they want me working for the government of Canada. I was born here in Canada. We're going to get these ones here in Canada. Phil Thompson even shot a police officer here in Canada. We're going to find his photo. He tried taking it off the internet. Okay? Is what Phil Thompson did. He killed people and then he tried to cover it all up and all that. But as you may know, the innocent the law prevails. And the law states that murder is illegal here in Canada to the highest extent. So that would make you wanted for murder, sir, or conspiracy, or that would make you wanted. So you are now officially wanted here in Canada, Phil. Now, he usually just hides in his house like a big fat pig over in Teeswater. But we know the story of the wolf and the three little pigs. And I'm the wolf, and they are the three little pigs. And the police are going to come blow you down for the murder charges. Or else just have fun being this wanted person here in Canada with the bad name, and everybody's wanting you and watching out for you, and you're probably just going to get shot or sent to jail for being a bad. I mean, he'll admit it with his voice. We're trying to find goddamn Phil and Cam Thompson. I know I have a photo of them here on one of their motorcycles. If I can get that one, I can make my wanted poster with it, and I can put it on the internet so that it's there whenever somebody searches up their name. Oh, come on. They have private Facebooks, I know that, but I'm looking for a specific photo or whatever. And all that. I know it's in my folder here. Let me go like this. View to medium icons. We'll have to scroll through all my photos. They tried their best. Okay, they really tried their best. I mean, I could tell you how much money it cost me to defeat the amount of people that I defeated. I mean, I had everybody against me. There wasn't hardly anybody on my side when it came to the justice or anything. I mean, it costs $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 total or whatever to be able to deal with a good majority of these guys, like a Phil Thompson, and then I had to deal with the judge, and then I had to deal with the lawyer, and then I had to deal with my brother, and then I had to deal with these niggers out in Edmonton, and then I had to deal with kids in jail or whatever. I had to spend close to about $70,000 to deal with these guys so far, and he's mad as fuck. And all I want is justice. I just want this guy Phil and this guy Cam to go to jail for their robberies and their murders. It was on Kijiji, these nice rental apartments or whatever on Kijiji. Turned out to be nothing but these murder apartments. Same organized crime group that we can link to Suzanne and Irfan Qureshi, they're saying. Out of Edmonton, there were two people that got murdered out in Edmonton. Phil Thompson and his family claim responsibility. When I sat down with Phil out in Teeswater. And that's where he said that he was the one that killed them. Him along with JD and E of Edmonton. I mean, that's what Phil said with his own mouth. I could testify in court that he was the killer, he said. So, since Phil has admitted to me in person, face-to-face, that he was the killer of Suzanne Tran and Irfan Qureshi, then I will testify in courts here in Canada at the highest level and the United States of America that not only did he admit that he was responsible for the deaths, but then he also admitted that he was part of an organized crime group. He also admitted that he was untouchable, impeccable, and that he could kill anybody in his way, which wasn't me, but it was many others, that I could testify would be the charges of murder here in Canada. But it's gone beyond that. It's gone beyond that to a certain extent, but it hasn't. It hasn't, because he's just a small town guy. But he's got big town power, and it's time that people know who this guy is before anybody else gets hurt. Like I said, I mean, they took my whole living from me. Stuff that I saved up for from long times ago, I saved up money, they stole. I mean, this guy is an all-out criminal. So he's wanted dead or alive. Let's see. He's wanted dead or alive. Was this the poster that I want with it? And there's Cam, his son. That's one of his accomplices. They did a wide variety of things when I was in Teeswater. They were doing robberies. They were doing murders of tenants. They were bringing tenants out, and they were murdering them. So be very careful of them. They're out in Teeswater. And they have these professional hit homes or whatever. Where if you rent from them, they act very friendly or whatever. That's their big gimmick. They're professional robbers here in Canada. Now it's your choice. Do you want these people here in Canada, or do you want these people going to prison so we can just have like? I mean, they make the economy very unstable here in Canada. Kids and other ones, their money is very at jeopardy when these ones are out here in Canada. It's very sexual with these ones here in Canada. I mean, he's like El Chapo. I mean, there's just mounds of these ones here in Canada. Just mounds of these ones. Oh, the videos? Well, that's not going to matter. The most important thing is that this picture is going to be on Blogspot. If anybody knows what Blogspot is, it's once it's up on Blogspot, it'll never get removed from the internet ever again. Phil Thompson, Cameron Thompson, Ashley. She's also affiliated. She's one of the prostitutes. She acts as a prostitute, and then she sets people up for murder and robbery and all that. So that's the title I'm going to run with. First, we're going to put the two images up of them normally. I mean, they tried their best to get to, they've tried their best to try to cover everything up. They tried removing their pictures. They've tried, I don't know, they've tried a lot with their money. But the thing is, and they tried to kill somebody that had the same amount of money as them or whatever, which was really stupid of them. Because the funny thing is, when I was in Teeswater and doing my big investigation, I had said, I'm like a Phil Thompson Jr. See, they all thought I was this little kid or whatever and blah, blah, blah. But it doesn't matter. All that matters is that here are the photos and here's the testimony. And they can't do fuck all about it. Because in Teeswater, they would be threatening me and saying they were going to kill. They'd be inside my house right now. Killing me. Because that's what they do. They kill people for a living here in Canada. Yeah, they kill people for a living here in Canada, professional murders or whatever. All that. So I just want to make it aware, whatever, because I lost a lot of money dealing with this guy, and all it was I went on Kijiji to rent an apartment. And then this guy's like murdering people and all that. And, you know, when I think about the computer that I did lose, because I did lose a computer, dealing with this guy. You know, it's just a computer. But at the same time, I think I paid like $2,000 for that computer. So I'm going to give him a whole computer's worth of videos to deal with. You know what I mean? So it's called recuperation. So he made me lose, I don't know, 20 grand or something. And then he put my life in danger too. So I'm going to give him about 20 grand of effort towards his capture and elimination. As you may know, I have a .45 caliber handgun now. I never used to back when Phil did all his murders and all that. But that doesn't matter. It was only 7 years ago that he did these murders. He should be held accountable. Or else he should at least go in for some questioning to iron this out. I mean, how come you did these murders? People are wondering why your name's coming up with these murders. He's obviously got something to say about these murders to do with him, because that's what he said to me, that he had a lot to say about. He said that he did it, and well, not only that, but then he also paid and he brought out the E and JD from Edmonton, the ones that are responsible for that murder out in Edmonton. So, from my perspective, how I always seen it is, once you're guilty for a murder here in Canada and you're wanted and all that, you might as well just fucking turn yourself in. And I think that's how a lot of the girls are going to see it too and all that. And a lot of the family members. And a lot of your business. He used to be this concrete guy or whatever and all that. And now, and he used to rent a lot of apartments. But he was murdering and all that. So